Our top story now, golf legend Tiger Woods is recovering at Harbor UCLA Medical Center after being involved in a single-car rollover crash around 7 o'clock this morning in Rolling Hills Estates. We know that Woods suffered injuries to both his legs and he underwent surgery. Sheriff Alex Villanueva says deputies saw no evidence, though, of impairment at the scene. He also said the investigation could take weeks to months to determine the cause. We want to thank you for watching KCAL 9 News at 4. Don't forget to stream us on CBS LLA, and don't forget to watch CBS.
Breaking news right now on CBS 2 News at 5 p.m.
We have a rollover with someone trapped.
Now at 5 and streaming live on CBS NLA, breaking news, golfing great Tiger Woods badly hurt in a serious rollover crash this morning. First responders say he is lucky to be alive.
That's right. Tiger Woods is now out of surgery, but we don't know his prognosis at this hour.
But we do have team coverage tonight on the crash, his career, and the outpouring of support. We begin with CBS 2's Leslie Marin with the latest on the crash from LA County Sheriff Alex Villanueva. Leslie.
Well, Pat, the sheriff did describe the stretch of road where this happened as a problem area. He says deputies have responded to several fatalities in that area. The deputy that first responded to the scene speaking out tonight, saying Tiger Woods is lucky to be alive.
I asked him what his name was. He told me his name was Tiger, and at that moment I immediately recognized him. I asked him if he knew where he was. What time of day, just to make sure he was oriented. He seemed as though he was lucid and calm.
Carlos Gonzalez was the first deputy to respond to a rollover crash involving Tiger Woods. He described what happened when he first approached the wrecked SUV.
I made contact with him and I ensured that he was able to speak to me. At that time, he seemed that as though he was still calm and lucid. Unfortunately, Mr. Woods was not able to stand under his own power. Our partners at LA County Fire were able to extricate him from the vehicle, and they put him onto a backboard.
Investigators say the crash occurred just after 7 this morning when a neighbor heard it and called 911. We know Woods was driving alone when at some point near Hawthorne, north of Palos Verdes, his SUV hit the median, flew about 100 feet, rolling and hitting a tree before coming to a stop. Investigators say Tiger was alert but had major injuries to both legs. He was trapped in the SUV and firefighters did have to extricate him.
We used a Halligan tool, which is a tool used for prying, and we also used an axe to pry him from the vehicle. He was taken from the vehicle with seat collar and backboard for spinal precautions.
Investigators say they don't believe impairment was a factor and Woods was wearing his seatbelt. Right now, investigators aren't saying if speed was a factor either, but the sheriff described this area as a trouble spot for people who may be driving too fast.
Well, at the time it crossed the center divider to the point that it rested was several hundred feet away. So obviously that indicates they were going at a greater speed than normal. However, because it is downhill, it slopes, and it curves, that area has a high frequency of accidents. It's not uncommon.
Now, as you saw in that video, that SUV did have major damage to the front end and the exterior, but investigators say the inside of the vehicle did remain pretty much intact. Now, the deputy first on scene says Tiger Woods was driving a 2021 Genesis, and he credits the newer models for really being built to protect people. Reporting live, Leslie Marin, Pat.
Yeah, I'm very thankful for that, Leslie. Leslie, did they mention where Tiger was going this morning?
Pat, well, investigators would not say where he was coming from or where he was going, but tonight Golf Digest is reporting that Tiger Woods was possibly headed to an appointment at 7:30 that was scheduled for 7:30 in the morning.